All right. Hello to the two people that are listening. This is Alexa and Bella on our unnamed podcast. This is our semi-annual episode. My name's Alexa.
And I'm Bella.
And today we have guest Brandon and MT from New Rockstars.
Hey. What is going on, everybody?
A pleasure to be
How
here.
are you guys doing? How's your Thursday?
Oh, it's going pretty well so far for me.
Pretty dang good.
Yeah.
It's going pretty chill. I can't complain.
How was your Thursday?
It was good. How's the weather out there, MT?
Boston, starting to get hot. Not a fan. I'm starting to sweat more. Sweat glands are my enemy. They've always have been. But yeah, no, like it's a nice change of pace from like brick cold, the brick cold winter that we usually have. Because I'm not a fan of ice. I'm usually a fan of many black things, but not black ice. Black ice. Do not mess with black ice. I don't mess with that. But yes, I'm glad that it's getting warmer, but it's sweating. It's not fun. Not a fan.
All right, so today we're going to be talking about whatever the hell we want. So I put together some topics, and so we'll go through the standard questions first. So I want to talk about what your guys' favorite Phase 4 project has been so far. So Brandon, what has been your favorite Phase 4 project?
And this is movies or TV shows, is what you're trying to say? Like anything post Endgame. Yeah. Okay. I mean, doesn't No Way Home seem like the easiest answer? But like, I almost don't want to say No Way Home.
Yeah.
Because it has like 20 years of building blocks underneath it. And I think if you were a baby and you went and saw No Way Home, you'd be like, what is this? I don't understand this movie at all. So standalone, I don't know. But I will say I was really impressed with Multiverse of Madness on so many levels, mainly because I was so afraid it was going to become a clogged, convoluted story. But it's a Doctor Strange movie, and it was great. And there was so much Doctor Strange in it. And they did my girl Wanda right, really powered her up. Love to see it.
Yes.
Love to see it.
Love to see some carnage. It's pretty fun times.
Yeah. How about you, LT?
That's a good question. I think, gosh, why am I blanking on every project that ever came out? I think I'm going to have to say WandaVision so far, mainly because of like how it's a story about grief and just a story about, just someone just getting over constantly losing people all the time. And like how that sort of just like mounts together and like it just causes someone to just sort of snap. And like I just appreciated how they handled it. And like it's literally a show like no other, I feel. So for now, I think it's WandaVision. I really love What If too. What If is really great.
I was really surprised.
Really great show. A lot of fun things. What If is really so much fun. And I can't wait for the next season. It's going to be dope.
What about you, Alexa and Bella? What's your favorite Phase 4s?
Yeah.
I think mine is Moon Knight, which I'm really surprised by. And I think I'm switching allegiances. I'm a Bucky stan. I think I'm switching allegiances to Stephen Grant. So it's kind of a big deal.
Don't tell Sebastian. Don't you? I want to call Sebastian right now.
Authorize it out here. But yeah, I really surprised by it. I'm not a person to read the comics first. I'll read the comics afterwards if I'm like interested. So yeah. What about you?
I was torn between WandaVision and Moon Knight just because like she's Stephen Grant, I'm Mark Spector. But no, I really found WandaVision, like you said, to be just, it was unlike any other. Like there was nothing like that before. And then I also liked Moon Knight because there's nothing like that as well. Like they were both just beautifully well executed and just great stories on their own as the shows. And I was just super impressed by both of them. So I think those two are like kind of my favorite right now. And I'm kind of like, I'm like, oh gosh, he's up there with Bucky. And I'm like, that's kind of scary.
All right, moving on to the controversial topics. Are we ready?
Let's do it. Let's get it controversial.
Ready to roll.
What is a celebrity or a character you would leave your partner for?
I don't have a partner, so take it away, Brandon.
Oh man, That's tough.
And this is purely hypothetical.
Tread carefully.
Right. Tread very carefully. This has to be MCU. You're saying like an MCU
No.
character could be anything
Just
out there.
any actor,
Any
It could be any actor, any character.
the great
actor or character.
great wide open, huh?
I mean, like, obviously, I'm going to say Haley Steinfeld, so I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go that route.
I think that's technically
'cause
your
that's the
partner
easy
in this
answer. I'll
category.
think of somebody else.
I think you would have established that.
Yeah, that's the partner. If that was the partner, it's nobody. Literally 0 people. I'm all set for life. Probably. Okay, if I mean, obviously, an over 18 version, but like Starfire. I really love Starfire as a character from Teen Titans, and if she was like an adult, absolutely. I'm sorry, future wife, but like Starfire is a very nice lady who can pick me up and fly me to the moon.
I'd so pick Raven or Beast Boy. That's for sure.
Raven or Beast Boy? That's maybe not Beast Boy. Actually, I feel like with Beast Boy it'd be kind of weird. Like, is this like a zoophilia? Is like, what am I doing right now? Like, are you an animal or like? I don't really understand.
I think
so. I would probably not Beast Boy.
I think it would be a bad pick, and I know this is a terrible pick, but I've loved her since a young age. Emma Frost herself, who would be the worst person to partner up with,
Emma Frost of the
and will always be reading your mind.
Well, she get inside your head,
I
bro.
know, but it might be worth it. I don't know.
Hey, as long as you were like being faithful, like open my eyes, you can read my mind.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
Michael Fassbender.
I mean, who wouldn't?
What was that, Brandon?
There was like a run during, I don't know if it was New X-Men, when like Scott was with Jean Grey, but he was like cheating on her with Emma in the mind space. Like they were having an affair like in the astral plane or something like that. And then Jean Grey finds out. But like during that whole time,
cheating on your dreams.
I was
totally fine. I hear
everyone loves Jean Grey, and I love Jean Grey, but I was like, I'm always Team Emma when it's like Emma versus Jean Grey. Like Emma wins all the time. Emma's great.
Yeah, Emma has got that sass. She's got that character. Yeah, I can see that. I can see it.
I think I would say
All right.
Frank Castle.
Oh, yeah.
I want a
That'd be
husband that
right.
would do
Mm.
anything for me.
That's problematic.
Or Robbie Reyes.
I want a husband with a body count.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I want a boy with a body count.
I want that. Not the other one.
I just feel like his apartment's always going to be so messy and dirty.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being an accomplice.
Lots
There's-
of bleach in the house though, which is good.
Yeah.
Good.
There's way too many to count. I think Bucky is the most basic answer, and so Sebastian, so I won't pick that. But out of anyone?
Anybody in fictional or real?
Oh my god, that's way too many.
There's like
Yeah.
12 options.
Yeah.
At least. Yeah, no, I think Michael Fassbender as Eric.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
I've been recently rewatching First Class Clips. Holy shit. I've been recently watching First Class Clips, and like he is a force. Like that dude, like he needs more credit for his role as Magneto. Like I feel like he's on the level of what's his name? Why am I blanking on Ian McKellen? Like I feel like they really just are perfect Magnetos for sure. So yeah, I can see that.
For sure. I also want him when he's in the woods with his wife and daughter. Like that era, I want to protect him from everything else.
Protect-
Yeah. I want to be the home wrecker. It's gonna be me.
I'll take care of him after they die. I promise.
You're just waiting behind a tree, like, yes, it's happening. It's going to happen.
I'm like, no, I came too late. That's so good.
Okay, so we already talked a little bit about phase 4, but since this is our podcast and I wanted to ask you guys, since Moon Knight is my new favorite character, I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on Moon Knight. So Brandon, what did you think of Moon Knight?
Really liked it. Was not like I didn't know a ton about the character from the comics. I didn't read a ton of Moon Knight or anything, but I did really like what they did. I mainly just was blown away with like Oscar Isaac's performance and Ethan Hawke's
Right.
performance. They were both so fun to watch and like so great. Those scenes where like Oscar would transition between Steven and Mark without a cut
Yeah.
were just great. It was so
Right.
good. I loved it. That stuff was really good. And I was happy to see like the good acting really come up.
Yeah, man, like they definitely used Oscar Isaac straight up. Like they were like, "Hey, you're like, did he win an Academy Award? I don't know, but you're like a prestigious actor. Just go for it. Just really, just act." Sure,
I hope that
we'll
he
just
got paid for playing 3 characters.
That's what I'm saying,
Got paid
dude.
3
I hope
salaries.
so. He deserves 3 paychecks. He just like cashes them as like each character is like a Steven. He goes to
You
Europe.
gotta get 3 different accounts.
But no, yeah, I really love Moon Knight as well. It's like one of the most unique series ever made. And like I was actually just rewatching clips from Moon Knight before I came here. And it was mainly the first 3 episodes. And like it was just really dope to see like that mirror scene again and like sort of like how they filmed it. Like I watched the behind the scenes of how they filmed it, and like, man, like it's just I loved like how they really leaned into the different alters and like just made them like really truly feel like real different people. Like so many people love Steven more than Mark, and it's just like so crazy because Steven's not real. So it's just like, man, like I love seeing like the different performances. Obviously, like we didn't really see it a lot, but like when they were in that fake reality with when Layla was acting a little erratic, and like I just loved like how everyone got to be different types of people in this show. So yeah, it's a really dope show, and I really want season 2 because Jake Lockley, he's kind of a very hot-headed element for sure.
Yes. If you can guess if my favorite 2 characters are the Punisher and Ghost Rider, then I'm gonna love Jake Lockley.
Okay.
That's for sure.
Awesome people.
Chaos.
So I need a season 2 just for that reason.
I was absolutely in love with Moon Knight because I mean, I wanted to do psychology when I was younger, and DID was actually one of the topics that like I wanted to specialize in. So I was really into DID before I even knew Moon Knight had DID. So I was so impressed by the way that like they were able to actually represent it in such an accurate manner and have like a dysfunctional system and then turn it into a functional system, and like the alters and like how, you know, like they showed the trauma and how it developed and like how they were used to protect Mark. And I loved it for that aspect of it, because there's so much, you know, a lot of fake news around DID, and it's like a hot like thing right now to like talk about it, and not a lot of people know the real facts of it. So I'm really happy the way that Marvel like went into it in the correct way and like really did the research and really understood, and how, you know, Mark or Steven like felt real, because like all these alters are real people within this system. I like to call it the Moon Knight system. But they all, you know, they're the trauma holders, and they don't know what happened between everything. And so I found that absolutely breathtaking, that it was portrayed in such a beautiful way. And then I also loved they had the, you know, like all the Egyptian culture, and then like the actual representation of like the gods. And I was in love with it. It was just so good. One of the best, like them and WandaVision, like they were just so another level, and I was so proud of it.
So I already know the answer for Brandon, but MT, do you collect Funko Pops? We're going to talk a little bit about Funko Pops if you have any.
I actually had a really huge Funko Pop phase for a while. Like my old office at my old job was like filled with Funko Pops. It was kind of funny. Yes, I had a ton of Funko Pops like at my old job, and like I was known as the Funko Pop guy. So like I don't know where they're at now, but like yeah, I do appreciate a good Funko Pop.
Yeah, I could see you as a Funko Pop guy in the office. For sure.
Actually, speaking of Funko Pops, James Gunn actually sent me a Funko Pop a couple years ago. It's still in the box. It's in my closet. It's like buried in the... But yeah, one of the coolest gifts I've ever gotten was a little James Gunn Funko Pop from James Gunn.
That's so fun. That's so fun.
Okay, another invasive question. I would like to know, after working in an environment with Marvel and DC and comics all day, Do you ever go to bed and have a dream about Marvel? Because I know I do.
Oh
every
my
single
gosh.
night.
I've had this. I've had a recurring dream a couple of times where it's like, this is usually before one of the movies comes out or just after a movie comes out, right? Like Doctor Strange or something or Spider-Man, where it's like in my dream I'm watching the movie, but I haven't. It's not the movie we see, right? I'm making a movie up in my head as I'm watching it, and then at some point it ends, and I'm like, wait, what happened in that movie? I have no idea. Was that good? It wasn't good. And I'm like stressed that it's not good and I don't understand it and there's nothing to talk about and we can't have any theory videos because it's not good. You know, like I've had like stress dreams about Marvel movies.
About Marvel. That's so funny. It's like work stress dreams.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
I know. I was thinking like, because I have dreams where I'm in like the Marvel universe.
okay.
I wasn't
That would be
thinking
better.
like. What about you, MT?
I don't think I've ever had a Marvel dream, which is kind of a bummer because like I've always been about dreams. Like ever since I was in like high school, I love the idea of dreaming. Like it's like a really dope that we could just hop into our imaginations and just have anything happen. But yeah, I've never really had a Marvel dream that I can remember, which is kind of sad for me. But how about you guys?
Yeah.
She has the same dream, either Wanda's or Daisy Johnson's powers.
Yeah, I always have Wanda's powers. It's kind of amazing. And I should start writing them down again, but like I dream multiple times a night. I dream when I nap.
Keep a dream journal because like it helps you remember your dreams.
I know,
really
I think because I was looking for one that I could read, and there's none in my notes. I think it's because
send me voice. Yeah. She sends me voice memos of them in the middle of the night. It'll be 2:00 in the morning. She goes, so I was Daisy Johnson, and there was like something, and there's the Batman one with.
Oh yeah, I had 2 about Robert Pattinson Batman recently, like in the past.
Oh,
it's fair. It's fair.
I mean, it's his birth month, so like it's extra powerful.
I used to get updates every night, twice a night. Of dreams. It's like they used to happen a lot. They were like every night and they're reoccurring too.
Yeah.
It's the same powers, different situations.
Okay,
so
funny. This is one I have written down. This is from April 13th. This isn't very exciting, but I don't think I told you about this one. So it was a dream about Spider-Man. So I was Spider-Girl apparently, and it was Tom Holland Spider-Man. And he found out that I was Spider-Girl. Okay, so I wrote this in the middle of the night, so it probably might not make sense. We kind of started working together, and we had a really cool friendship. And over the course of our friendship, there's a lot of different things that happened. I don't really remember, but one day I saw the news or something. I can't remember exactly how it happened, but all of these clips of us together were cut and edited to make me look really bad. And I realized that we were never friends, and that Tom Holland Spider-Man just wanted to get rid of me and be the only spider person in New York.
Oh.
Wow, he pulled a Mysterio. He was like, no, only one. There can only be one. I'm the real Spider-Man.
I like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Good
there
story.
Are so many. And they all are bad English. And I'm like, okay, this happened. This happened.
No, like when I used to keep a dream journal for a little bit, and like it's the wake up lethargy that you're just like, I don't know what I'm writing, but I have to write it down. It's not going to make any sense. So yeah, I love like reading people's like barely comprehensible words when they wake up. It's kind of hilarious. But no, that's a funny dream.
I used to only have lucid dreams whenever I slept over here. Like I was like, there's something about this house.
Maybe a gas leak. I don't know.
Carbon monoxide poisoning.
So I have a question specifically for Brandon.
Okay.
So MT, I know that you got like recruited because you were like already interested in like Marvel stuff and you're posting Marvel content. But Brandon, did you start working for NR and like then you got into comics and Marvel and stuff, or did you like it before you?
No, I was always pretty hardcore into it. My wife and I, before I even started working here, we would go to usually like the Friday night premiere of like whatever MCU film was out, because they would do this fun thing in LA where at this one movie theater, the Cinerama Dome, which is like this big theater in Hollywood, if you were at the like Friday night at like 8 p.m. release premiere night, they started doing this randomly. Like we were there one night where I was like, oh, there's all these ushers inside. Why are there so many ushers inside the building? And this is like a big room where they show this movie that seats like a couple hundred people. And then we realized like before the movie starts, like, and this was, I think the first one happened was at Thor Ragnarok. And like Kevin Feige was there, and he comes out and he's like, "Hello, thank
Holy
you.
shit.
I want to thank you guys for
Ooh.
supporting so much." And he's like, "I got another friend here," and it was like Taika Waititi, and we were like, "Oh boy!"
Oh my
And then like
god.
Tessa Thompson was there, and then like Chris Hemsworth was there. Everyone lost their minds. And so we kept going to those Friday night ones, and like they kept doing it at that Cinerama Dome. Like for Infinity War, they had
Bro.
Benedict Cumberbatch was there, and then Tom Holland was there, and he jumps out, and this is before the movie starts. He jumps out and he goes, "I'm alive," and we're all like, everyone's like, "What?"
Whoa!
And then there was like this weird what, and it was like, "Oh no, they haven't seen the movie," which I think was BS, because why would we all be sitting there if we had seen the movie? We would have left. But anyway,
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, I've always enjoyed them. Always been a
Classic
big
Tom
fan.
Holland. Classic
Yeah,
Tom
yeah.
Holland.
So it's very easy to like slip into doing the new Rockstar stuff because I already watched them a lot. And was I'm friends
Like,
with
I'm
the
already
guys.
best friends with Kevin Feige.
Best friends with Kevin Feige. And I was friends with like the most of the NR crew since college, and like so it was very easy to like slip into it and just focus that beam of nerd knowledge.
I was so into New Rockstars when WandaVision, like way before WandaVision, and I was watching all the breakdowns. Eric Voss became my like Mephisto's coming. Like that was like I was so into it. I got the Odd Couple shirts. Like my friend and I, she had Vision and I had Wanda, and then I was so into it. So then when she said, "Oh, New Rockstars hit me," I was like, "Take it!" I was like, "Take it!" I was so like, I was like, "You don't understand. Take it." I geeked out. I was like, "This is so big. You have no idea. You gotta."
Well, we're very grateful that you did that because Alexa's an amazing editor.
Yeah.
She's like
No,
so
that was-
funny.
That was all her.
Yeah.
I just was like, for me, take it.
Yeah, I'm still a freelancer, but when I first talked to John, I was like begging to be a staff editor. I was like, please, because I was trying to get out of this job with sexual harassment stuff going on, and so I was like, please take me on as staff editor, please. And so I just freelanced for them for a little bit, and I was like, okay, maybe I'll staff edit for them later. Months later, they asked me if I wanted to be a staff editor. I said no. So he's like, you were begging for us to make you a staff editor. And you asked me to say no. And I was like, yeah, I changed my mind.
It happens. It's business.
I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter about CGI recently. And so I've seen a lot of talk about bad CGI. So I want to talk about good CGI. So first, what's your favorite CGI in the MCU? Or like, what do you think is the best?
Oh, in the MCU.
Oh, easily Anthony from Ant-Man 1. R.I.P. Anthony, one of the best CG I've ever seen. I'm just kidding. No, it's got to be Thanos for me. Like it's like Thanos. Every time I see Thanos, I'm just like, I cannot believe that that's not a real person that exists. Because like they knocked it out of the park. Like it was obviously it's not. You can tell like there's always like uncanny valley for things that aren't actually physically real. So like obviously there's a degree of like, all right, that's a CG object, but like they did a really good job with all of the like little details, like the pores in his skin. Like you can just, it feels like he's a real person. And like, it's just, yeah, every time I see it, I get blown away. So it's going to have to be Thanos for me.
What they did in the kind of incredible stuff, right, is when you see a VFX breakdown and it's like, oh, Tom Holland was standing in front of a door, just a doorway on a green panel, and then they built all of New York around it, and there's a squirrel climbing up a tree and all this crazy stuff. But you know, I really go back to like I think it was like Iron Man 2 when they were like, oh, we didn't build a suit this time, and it's like I had no idea. And you would see the behind the scenes of like, oh, it's just Tony or it's Robert Downey Jr. and he's just wearing like a little bit of the collar piece. And I was like, how did they do that? Like, and now it's so rote and we're so used to it. But yeah, that right away, they were like really blowing me away. And I remember just even seeing the first Iron Man, like that suit looks so good. And this is one thing I miss about the Iron Man suit is how much noise it used to make when it moved. Like you could hear the gears spinning and the whirring. It took him like 10 minutes to put it on. That was like the best part of it. It was like, this is not fast. It's great. It's like practical.
Like I always say that like noise adds so much weight to anything in a movie, and like once they stopped taking out that Iron Man noise, his suit just felt less real.
My point was going to be Iron Man 1 and 2, and like 3 2 as well, but like 1 and 2 are my favorite because it was so real, so gritty, so like the noise, the like weight that you're saying, like that's
his suit would
exactly
get
like
like
that's my favorite
damaged
thing
and would have
about
like smoke and burns on it.
it felt so real.
Yeah.
And then ever since like Infinity War and Endgame with the nano, it just felt so unreal out of touch. And I loved the grime and the grit of the real iron, like the smashes, the heaviness, the like whirring and the like that was my favorite. Like Iron Man, the Iron Man trilogy was my favorite. And I missed the old suit so much. So when you brought that up, I was like, yes, that's what I was gonna say.
It's like, it's like when you're at a
favorite.
Comic-Con and like you're like, you see this cool looking stormtrooper and you're like, oh, I want to go take a picture. You get close and you can like hear the plastic moving of the suit, and they're like, oh, I want to take a photo, and it's like, this doesn't. Where's the radio? Where's the? Why is this?
You're not a real star. I'm gonna report you.
Yeah, I'm like one of those people. I saw this tweet and I've never related to a tweet so much. It's like people will say like this CGI sucks and I have no idea what y'all are talking about, and that's me. Like I don't know. Like she's like Black Widow CGI was kind of bad, and I was like I don't know. It was fine to me. So
it was a little rough. I mean, like
if it has like pretty colors, I like it. So I liked Eternals a lot.
I go back to like that.
Eternals was really
except for Icarus flying into the sun.
Still alive. Don't worry. Black Panther, like
he's still alive.
The final fight in Black Panther is kind of like, what is this? It looks so weird.
Yeah, that's not the best. It's really strange. I kind of wish that
the trains and like their suits look dark and everything.
Like it really felt like a PS2 cutscene. I don't.
That's so true. That's so true.
Like weird, uncanny. Like I love Black, and I no disrespect to Ryan Coogler, like amazing director, but like it was just a weird moment where it's just like this feels a little bit lower budget than we're used to, and like it was. I don't know, but like that's just a minor gripe for me.
No, but I get what you're saying. She doesn't understand.
No, I don't. And now I wanna ask about the best CGI or your favorite CGI in movies outside of Marvel, because after seeing this tweet, people were like quoting and they're like, some of the best CGI I've seen is in Transformers. And I was like, now I kind of want to watch Transformers.
Transformers is so good. Transformers?
Yeah,
that's like the Iron Man type CGI. I love that.
I'm curious what y'all suggest.
Like, no, back to like what I was saying about like the whole noise adding weight thing. Like in Transformers 1, I feel like Michael Bay added so much more noise to the actual Transformers when they transformed. Like you heard like every little like every little like gear moving, and like in future movies he prioritized like the soundtrack over the noise, and so the Transformers felt really weird and fake and like not as real. So yeah, no, like Transformers, the CG in the first movie, fantastic. And I feel like that was primarily because they were shooting on film during that time. So like I feel like it's easier to get away with CG stuff when things are not as high quality. But yeah, no, like it's still fantastic. Like really, really good.
All right, suggestions, Brandon?
Well, I mean, I think like Jurassic Park still looks incredible, which is funny to say because it's like a 30-year-old movie. But like
really good.
The mix of practical and CG in that movie is really good. It still looks great. And like honestly, sometimes the dinosaurs look better than like some of the more modern ones. But for like modern stuff, I thought Dune was really well done, and the CG looks great in that.
Oh my god, yeah!
I mean, so much like so much CG. It's like plastic surgery, right? It's like you don't see the good plastic surgery. It just looks real. And like when you just watch a movie and you're like, oh, everything in this scene is real and nothing is real. You're like, okay, well that's bizarre and frightening. I'm trying to think who was like a really good CG character recently that I saw. I don't know. I feel like I've seen something.
Jar Jar Binks. Amazing.
Yes. My favorite.
I mean, I was blown away by like Rocket and Groot. I remember there was a moment when I was
my god, yeah, Rocket.
When I was watching the first Guardians of the Galaxy in the theater, I was by myself and I'm crying, dying, like that scene when like Groot's dying, he makes the root ball and Rocket is pleading with him to not do it. And I'm just bawling. I'm like, I'm crying at nothing. Right. Like nothing's real. Like this is just two CG characters.
It's a cartoon. It's a dang cartoon.
One being an anthropomorphic tree, the other being a raccoon. And I'm like, what am I doing? It's like I think those look incredible. You know? I don't know. Looks great.
What have you done to me,
What have you done to me, Feige? What have you done?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking with Moon Knight is like Oscar Isaac is just talking to no one because he's talking to himself, right?
Or maybe
So
his
it's
brother.
I can't imagine like
brother.
Yeah, or his brother.
Yeah. So I thought that was cool. Okay, so this is a double-ended question. So the first half of the question, what fictional character would you want to be?
Ooh.
Fictional character would I want to be?
Oh, easy. I know this. I want to be the Doctor. I love the Doctor Who is my favorite show of all time.
Yeah.
Always has been. So I've always like my ideal like afterlife is me having a TARDIS and like just flying around the universe through space and time and just meeting people, helping people. Like that's literally the dream. And like never sort of being able to die seems. I mean, like it is a curse, but like I don't know. It just allows you to have more adventures and more memories, and it's really cool. So the Doctor for me.
The Doctor's good.
BBC lover.
How lovely.
That sounds weird. Never mind. I meant the channel and nothing else.
I mean, I always had a passion for Magneto. You know, I think Magneto has a good power set that's not too OP, but it can be OP. You know what I mean? Like some of these characters, it's like they can do whatever they want. It's not interesting to me. But like you can manipulate metal and magnetic fields, but there's a limit to that. But you have to be very creative with how you use it, which I always appreciated. I like that about him. I mean, I always wanted to be a Jedi. Who doesn't want to be a Jedi? I'd probably turn Sith, but
yeah, the Jedi are kind of like really lame in terms of
the
like,
Sith are where it's at. Jedi suck, but
okay. I want to be Felicia Hardy Black Cat.
Yeah.
That's just who I want to be.
Black Cat. She's a cool cat. I gotta say.
Yeah. I'd want to be Bobby Morse tall. Yeah.
Stop, that's such a good one.
That's a good one.
Yeah, because she's
a good
tall
one.
queen in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Because I told MT this. I don't know if you know this, Brandon, or if you would guess this, but I'm 6 feet tall.
She is.
So it's like,
nice.
I totally am like when I see characters that are like tall, like female characters that are tall, like Wonder Woman, Diana, like
right.
adore. So,
and then I love her next to Hunter.
Yeah, her and Hunter. Okay, so the tail end of this question is, okay, so we know what fictional character you would want to be, but what fictional character would describe how you are now?
Oh.
Like what fictional character would describe you best? I didn't think about this one. You think too.
That is actually a good question.
Wanda Maximoff. I am right there right now.
Wanda Maximoff.
My hair. Yeah, that's right there right now. I'm Wanda Maximoff. I am one universe away from having a breakdown. So I will take control of you. I will have my perfect reality. Leave me alone. Give me the dark hold.
That's a good one.
Character to describe me now. I think I would go with Peter B. Parker in that starting to age. I'm aging gracefully. I'm still in the zone. Like I'm still in the zone. I'm sharper than ever. But like, you know, the body fails every now and then. I'm just trying to hold it together. I don't have that youth figure that I used to have, but like I'm still out there and I'm ready to teach the next generation how to handle it. I'm ready to be there for them. Be a mentor.
I like that. That's dope. Wait, does it have to be Marvel or anything?
It could be anything, MT.
Okay, cool. I got it. Because you reminded me.
Jesus Christ.
I'm Nick Miller from New Girl. That's exactly who I am right now.
Nick Miller from New Girl.
Season one, Nick Miller from New Girl. The depressed person who doesn't really know what he's doing, but he's just sort of just like, I don't know. I'm just sort of doing it, you know? So that's me.
I don't know. I feel like I would have said Wanda. Yeah, I guess. Or that would be me and my alcoholism. I would go to sleep and then not know what happened while I was blacked out. And I too would drive and possibly kill people because I'm driving under the influence. So yeah, I guess, yeah, you're right. Mark Spector.
But that was back in the day.
Yeah,
I know.
Mark Spector.
Now I
You're Mark Spector in the rehab.
Mental instability. Yeah, I'm him in the asylum. That's good. So you guys don't have to answer this one because I don't know if it would like get you fired or something. But Is Philip as cool as he portrays himself on social media?
Oh, absolutely.
Philip is pretty
Philip
cool.
Really?
the chillest dude
He's a very meticulous
ever.
guy, for sure.
Really?
Yeah. And like he's I think the coolness is legit. He's worked hard. He's constructed
Yes.
that armor of coolness, and I think it's real. It exists. He's a very intelligent guy, and he's pretty cool. I mean, he was like when he was getting ready for that Multiverse of Madness premiere, he was like, "Oh yeah, I got like a new suit for it." And in my mind, I was like, if I were to buy a new suit, it would just be like a suit. It'd be a gray suit or a blue suit or a black suit. It would look very nice. It would be fitted well, and that would be my suit. I don't know if you've seen pictures from him at the Multiverse of Madness premiere. He was wearing this shiny, effervescent, like beautiful suit that I was like, where would you ever wear that ever again? But it didn't matter. It didn't matter. He was like, I'm wearing
the Met Gala? What are you doing?
I mean, like legit. I was like, I don't know when I would ever wear that suit, but he did it and he pulled it off. So, kudos to him.
Because people always ask me, is Eric as cool as and as nice as he seems? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't talked to him like ever.
People being me.
We are pretty much exactly who we are on camera for the most part. Because like whenever we do shows, or I'm speaking for myself anyway, like I honestly forget that I'm shooting a show because I'm just like, I'm talking to my friends. This is really fun. We're just goofing off, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I get paid to do this. This is really cool. So yeah, I feel like everyone at New Rockstars is pretty much how they are, and like Philip is super chill, and like, you know, like just judging by like the conversations that I've had with him personally, like he really cares about like, you know, how you're doing as a person, and like he's just a really great dude.
Yeah,
and I'm super grateful that he found my weird stuff and like wanted to be my friend, which is like one of the best things ever.
Okay, so I have 2 more questions, and then we can open for discussion if that's something that we want to do.
Open it up for discussion.
All right.
If you could recast any character, what character would it be, and what actor would play them?
Oh my goodness gracious!
Ooh, recast any character. Oh, I know this one
ahead of time, so you guys can prepare. You guys are acting like that.
I already know this answer. I just need to find what her name is. Gosh, what is her name? The chick from. Why I'm blanking on the movie Alita Battle Angel.
Alita Battle.
Rosa Salazar. There we go.
Right.
Okay. I want Rosa Salazar to be Maria Hill so badly. Like I feel like she would knock it out of the park as Maria Hill. She would just be so much like, I don't know. I just feel like her personality fits. Like whenever I read Maria Hill in the comic, I'm like, I'm getting Rosa Salazar. I don't know. I'm just getting really like. She's a really sassy lady that can really like take charge. I'm like, that's Rosa Salazar. I can see it. But like obviously Colby Smulders is doing an amazing job. Like I obviously don't want her to get fired or to lose her job. But like that's just like for me personally, that's a fan cast.
Yeah. Fan cast. That's a better word for it than recast.
Fan cast. Yeah.
Fan cast. Yeah, everyone's doing a good job. Every actor's just trying to work. But if you had to go back and do it, mine. Well, I guess I'll go back to the woman I'm leaving my wife for, Emma Frost. Right? Listen,
I was waiting for it. I was gonna say.
I got nothing against January Jones. Let me take that back. I got very little against January Jones. She's a lovely person. Was great in Mad Men. Not so great as Emma Frost. I don't think it was. She had a lot to work with. That's the writers. That's the director. That's fine. Would have wasted the character twice. They've wasted that character. I would like to add. I would like to see Blake Lively get a turn as Emma Frost. I think she would do a really good job. I think she would be really good at it.
Would do it.
And it would be good to have her run into Deadpool and they have like a funny joke about it. But I think
it's like, we're married in another universe.
I think she would be a great Emma Frost. And as they look to hopefully bring her into the MCU, let's give her a shot. Let's give her a shot.
Let's keep that in mind. Let's keep that in mind.
Keep it in the old noggin.
Mine is Jensen Ackles as Hawkeye.
Oh, okay.
I think
that's a good one. I gotta say, like that is the Matt Fraction Hawkeye for sure.
Right. Oh my gosh. I think because I love the Hawkeye comics and I love Hawkeye in the comics. And like, no hate to Jeremy. Not at all. But like Jensen Ackles, him and Supernatural, just that would have been a perfect translation to comic Clint.
100%. I agree.
And yeah, and I wish they kind of brought in the deafness earlier in the MCU, but I totally
Yeah.
understand. Like,
It made sense
you
when they
know,
did it, but
people
I get what
aren't
you're
always
saying. Yeah.
I totally loved how they did it. It wasn't like just all of a sudden he was deaf. It was like, oh yeah, there's a lot of explosions.
Yeah.
He's getting old. Like,
It's
Yeah,
like
in
I'm
their
a
head,
normal
okay.
dude.
Yeah.
Like a
I'll
lot
take
of
that.
loud noises
take
have
that.
happened.
But I have always wanted Jensen Ackles as
Mm.
Clint, just because I'm like, I just see it. I've always saw it when I read the comics, and like I was into Supernatural, so I'm like, yeah, that's my fan cast.
I believe it. Like I've always wanted. I don't know if you watch The Boys, but the fish guy to play Hawkeye. I think it'd be a great.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know
I'd
his name, but like the Deep. Whoever plays the Deep would make a great Hawkeye for me.
Yeah. I love Scarlett Johansson as Natasha Romanoff, but I saw an edit recently that was Jessica Chastain as Natasha
Oh,
Romanoff.
that would be really good.
Mm.
She
It would have been so good.
Oh yeah, that
That'd
is.
be
I have to
crazy.
show you the edit because it was like Natasha Romanoff real, like with the
Real.
parentheses.
It'd be good after 355. I totally see that.
Yeah, for sure. So
That's a
Wait,
good
she-
one.
Right.
yeah.
Okay. I
Yeah,
thought I was going crazy in a second. I was like, wait, am I thinking the
Did
wrong?
I just make
No.
something up?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like, did I just go into an alternate reality? My bad. Like, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, we have one fan submitted question.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is from Justin Gill on Twitter, and he asks if we think the quality of the Disney Plus series would be improved if all the shows only had 5 episodes.
I mean, that's such a it's a tough thing. Like I think yeah, it's really I think the hardest thing right now is that all of this stuff they're in this position where nothing ends, right? Everything has to just kind of keep going. And everything has to kind of be open-ended and really do its thing. Like I think Loki was like the most successful as a series in terms of presenting stuff, having character development, and having a good climax to the film, to the show, and telling a complete story. So much so that like Kate Herron, the woman who wrote or kind of directed it, was like, "This was my vision. I don't want to do season 2, right? Like I don't care. If you cut them down to 5, they're gonna have the same problem still that you might see as they have when they have 8 or 9 episodes, right? I think if anything, I would just love them to be a little more insular and not worry about all the connections they got to make. Now, do I like the connections? Yes. Does the new Rockstars like all the connections? Yes. But if you're talking about success and making them better, like let them be a little more like when you read comics and for 5 issues, there's a different artist and a different writer and things feel very different. And the basics are still there, but you jump around a little bit. Like, I think I like to see that. Everything starts to look the same, and that kind of gets, you know, the MCU has like a palette of visuals, and they all kind of fit together. Which again, why I liked like Multiverse of Madness, it felt very different. Shang-Chi felt very different from like a just cookie cutter kind of MCU movie. Does that answer the question? I don't know.
Yes. Perfect. All right, MC, what's your take?
This is tough because like I think it really all depends on the writer and the showrunner and like how the story is being told. But like I feel like 6 episodes is a good number. I feel like 5 would be too few. I feel like 6 episodes, and considering how like 6 is like the big number in the MCU, I feel like that's good for like not too long, but like not too short. And like I really liked how Moon Knight had that 6 episode formula. I feel like it was like perfectly good. But like I don't know. I don't think that shorter seasons will help. I just think that it just all that really matters is like making a really good memory. And like I don't know. Like I as long as the show affects people, then like I don't think it really matters how many episodes there are for me personally. I don't know. But yeah, I think that 6 for me is a good round number.
Even.
Yeah, anything more than like 6 to like 9 episodes max. If it's more than 9, then I'm like, I think you guys are just trying to milk this series. Please stop. Yeah, that's me.
We were talking about this earlier, and now that we've talked a little bit about CGI, now I'm thinking about it more. So when we were talking about this earlier, I was thinking like, oh, improving like the plot. They have more episodes to like expand on like the plot and stuff. And then she was like, well, maybe quality of CGI, maybe that's what the person was asking. I was like, wait, I don't even see bad CGI. So like, of course, I think that it's gonna be better if there's more episodes because I just see the plot, I guess. So.
Yeah.
I'm a visual person. So, I mean, I obviously am into the story as well, but I thought like if you keep going, you're going to have to split like where you want your budgeting to go. And then if you keep going with more episodes, you're kind of going to draw back from those really intense scenes. And then like, or you're going to have one really intense moment, like Natasha jumping out of a blowing up ship. And then the rest of the other ones, you're like, why is the helicopter moving like that? So like, there's like, you kind of have those moments, but like plot wise, of course, like you want to be able to tell the story more, but like you were saying, you're milking it at that point. Like Marvel right now is very open-ended, and it's either you like it or you don't like it. But everything is very open-ended. So, you know, if you keep explaining the story without letting it lead into, say, another movie or another series, or how Marvel's trying to set up this, you know, like WandaVision led into Multiverse of Madness. Like if you're trying to set up these lead-ins to different things, you can't keep explaining it because you can't make those connections, or you're already explaining, you already know what's going to happen in the next movie, and then it's like not fun anymore. But I'm also like kind of iffy on how open-ended Marvel is right now, because like before it was concise. The open-ended would lead into the next movie, but now there's like almost 13 different plot lines that are just left open. You have to keep track of who's going to show up where. Like everyone thought Loki was going to be in Multiverse of Madness. He's nowhere to be seen. And like there's just so many, like everything's like that two different post-credit scenes for Eternals. Like everything is so open-ended. You're trying to keep track of what storyline is going where and what's going to happen in the next, like where's the direction. And I kind of feel like Marvel is like, we have so many things and we want to make sure you're interested, and so here's all of it, like stay into it. And we're like, it's a little over sensory load. I kind of wish they just kept, like, you know, the Infinity Saga was very like on point, even though the movies didn't necessarily have to be about Thanos. It all led into this, you knew it was coming. Right now it feels so what's happening, like why did Harry Styles show up, and then why did, you know, they get taken away, and then that's all in one movie. And then you're like, okay, let's look at Loki. The multiverse is broken, but then Doctor Strange doesn't have the repercussions of that. And then there's just, and it's like there's not a clear, concise line. And I'm kind of, it's like, do you like it or you dislike it? And I'm like, right now I'm like, what are you doing?
I feel like we're in that weird like period before Avengers 1 when like we didn't know Thanos was like really a threat, and like we're just like, all right, we're getting a Captain America movie, and then we're getting the Thor, and like what's happening? I don't really know. It's just we're enjoying movies. But like now that we're used to like a cinematic universe, it feels kind of scary not really knowing where's this bus going. I don't really know. Like we were on the Thanos bus, now we got off that, and now we're just on the Marvel bus. Where are we going?
Wanda, Strange, Loki. Where are we going?
Well, I think a lot of it leads to what the comics are. You know, no one reads. Well, very few people read every single Marvel comic that comes out, right? But in a lot of ways, they're all connected. It's the same universe, what have you. I think as the MCU grows, and now we're in year 14, close to 15 or whatever of content. In every year, it's every day it's someone's first time seeing a Marvel anything, right? So they're gonna as they want to bring in a young audience, you can't say like, well, here's 28 films you need to watch, here's 6 series you need to see, and now you can get in. I think their approach maybe now, and they've kind of moved away from the phases. Even they don't say phase. They haven't officially said phase 4. People kind of just say it because we're used to saying it, but like they're kind of just presenting stuff. And like, if you like the younger stories, they're over here, and if you like these characters, they'll be over here. And if you would like to learn more, you can. But we're just going to offer up this buffet, and I think that's good because, you know, as you have fans who might decry the choices they're making or the type of content they're making, I think it's good that they're diversifying their assets in a way that means whatever you like, you'll find something there. If you don't like all of it, you don't have to like all of it.
Yeah. Can't make everyone happy.
Yeah. Exactly.
Like, now someone's always going to be disappointed. So.
And I think like if that's the case, then what they're doing is kind of nice. Like you said, like there's something for everyone. I was talking to one of my friends, and they're like, well, I don't read the comics, so I have no idea what's happening. Like during Multiverse of Madness, we were like, oh. And then they're like, what? And so it's like, it's kind of hard for those that don't and are just kind of getting into it, or they've only ever watched the movies. But like, yeah, if you're like into the comics and you're totally like, oh yeah, that's all in the same universe. I mean, everyone knew John Krasinski as Reed Richards, like, whoa, that was it. Or like Charles Xavier, even though many people haven't seen the X-Men, like a lot of people do. So there's like different spectrums of where you are and how you are. And I think, yeah, them just kind of like, oh, here's a show if you want to watch a show and you're not into the movies, or here's this new movie, Eternals, that's not really tied to really anything. Yeah. So if you like that type of thing. And so, I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying over there.
And I'm ready for them to break more expectations, which, they kind of do here and there. Like Sylvie wasn't a real character, just kind of a mix of two characters. Like my dream would be, all right, here's the MCU's Fantastic Four movie. This is our first movie. And you know what? It's Mrs. Fantastic and the Invisible Man. Like Reed Richards turns into and Sue Storm is the one that stretches. And it's like, yeah, let's do that. Like start crossing the genders of some of these characters. Start completely changing things. Like I don't want to know all the answers because I can look them up in the comic book, which I think they do. Exactly. Like Infinity Saga played out very differently in the movie. I think that's what they're going to do with Secret Wars. It's going to play out very differently, or Secret Invasion.
A lot differently, but
that is. And then eventually,
Secret Invasion.
And then eventually Secret Wars. They'll do it. They're going to make all these multiverses and then just collapse them and start over.
Yeah. I remember someone was like, why'd they name it the Illuminati? And I was like, it's in the comics. It's not a thing. Like, don't worry. Like, don't hate on it. They're like, that's such a stupid name. Like, why would they do that? I was like, it's in the comics, but I promise you, they're not just being funny. I was like, give it a chance. I had to defend them for a second. I was like, wait.
Well, like, it makes sense because, like, they're the most illuminated of all of humanity. So, like, they think they're the smartest. So, like, they're the Illuminati. I don't know. That just makes sense to me.
They're like, so they're like the secret government controlling the world. And I was like, maybe. Kind of.
All right. Do we have any closing statements before we wrap it up?
Closing statements?
I would like to.
Closing arguments.
I'm not the one interviewing ever. I'm always the
one. My closing statement will be I want to thank Kevin Feige for Frogman. It's the greatest thing that's ever happened to me in my life. I keep looking at the design of the costume, and it's the greatest. Like, I am so excited for this like freaking Frogman. Like, it's gonna be like Kick-Ass. Like, I feel like we're gonna get a Kick-Ass version of Frogman, and I'm all about it. So, like, that's my closing remark. a random thing.
My closing statement is, I don't want to see Wolverine for another 5 years. I've still had enough Wolverine. I don't need to see for 5 years.
You don't want any Hugh Jackman anymore?
Hugh Jackman can come back whenever he wants. He can walk in whenever he wants. But I do not want to see another Wolverine story for 5 years. At least 5 more years. Make us wait.
You don't want another Wolverine origin?
If he is one of the first
X-Men,
if Wolverine's one of the first X-Men we see, I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna leave.
Oh my god.
No Emma Frost, Blake Lively.
That'll take.
Okay.
Me?
Yeah. I haven't thought of anything yet.
I hadn't either. I think Marvel is fun, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. Also,
wait, what was fun?
Marvel is fun.
Yes, Marvel is fun.
It's just a fun brain rot. I have way more Marvel knowledge than records of books and study that I've done. If I had a test on listing every event that's happened in the MCU, I could do it. You tell me to name the elements. I'm sorry, I cannot.
I think that's a fair trade.
Yes. I will close with the simple statement of, please give Bucky the long hair back.
Yes.
Please.
Yes.
That's Bucky with the good hair.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're ever gonna get long-haired Bucky, because like that dude's old-fashioned.
I'm mad because I wanted a scene of Sam cutting Bucky's hair. I wanted that to be why we
That would have been good.
They go to a black barbershop, like, all right, Bucky, sit down.
That would be the only reason why I accepted the fact that he had short hair, is if Sam was cutting it for him, was like, this is greasy.
Give Bucky waves. I want to see Bucky with the waves, do-rag.
Do-rag and waves.
He's like, I got a black friend now. You already know what it is.
All right. Thank guys so much for joining us. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you for having me.
us.
John was mad at me for not inviting him to this.
Mm.
So
That's fair.
now we're gonna have a new Rockstars editors episode. So chances are I'll probably ask you guys to come back. So if you guys don't mind,
Please do.
I'll be in your
Please
DMs
do.
soon.
Totally fine.
Thanks for coming. It was great talking with you
Thank
guys.
you for having
All right,
me.
thank you everybody for listening,
Yes,
and
thank you.
goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.